Hey, Cherie Taylor here, welcoming you into Wet Nose Wednesday with a new look, a new feel, a new sponsor, and a new rescue partner we are working with. First of all, let's say welcome into Allie from K9.5 Rescue. And of course, Mr. Magoo, you're going to meet him in just a few. And a huge welcome and a thank you to our new sponsor of Wet Nose Wednesday, Petman Mobile. They have vans traveling from York County through the state as far south as Lexington County, offering all required vaccinations for your pets. And you can go to our website, magic989.com, and get the latest schedule of when they will be out and about in your community. I'd like to welcome into Wet Nose Wednesday for the very first time, Allie Rathhart. She is with K9.5 Rescue, one of the new rescues we're working with. I've actually worked kind of in I don't want to say cahoots, but in conjunction with your rescue for all that we've done for Whiskies for Whiskers. And hopefully that is coming back because I still have my costume that I picked out for last year. So tell us about your rescue before we start talking about Magoo.
Our rescue, K9.5 Rescue, obviously, is what we focus on: Great Pyrenees, other giant breeds, seniors, and special needs. So we have all the dogs that sometimes are a little harder to get out of shelters because of their size or their age or their disability, whether it's physical or, extreme fears or anxiety, something like that. Maybe dogs that people are having a harder time with and need to surrender to us. But it's our love. We love the big guys. We love the old guys, and we love the ones that need a little more help. So that's our focus.
You were telling me a little bit on the phone last night about Magoo. Let's start talking about Magoo. How long has he been with the rescue? Specifically, how long has he been with you? And let's talk about some of the challenges he's faced in his, very short 4 years of life.
Okay. We've had him a year, and actually I've had him a year because I'm his foster mother. When we pulled him from the shelter that had him took great care of him and asked us if we could assist. So we pulled him and we took him to the ophthalmologist because he was blind. We weren't sure if he had, partial sight or if he's completely blind or whatever, because he did really good. But the ophthalmologist told us that he had progressive retinal atrophy, which means a lot of big words that I would not explain well. But in essence, he was blind. He was not in any kind of pain. But we needed to just kind of keep an eye on it because there's potential to go to glaucoma. He's got cataracts right now in one eye because we had to remove the other eye, which I'll get to in just a second. But so he takes one single drop in that eye every day to prevent it from going to glaucoma. At that point, if it doesn't, that eye may need to be removed, but it may not. He may be perfectly fine the way it is right now. Mm-hmm. The other eye, it had some additional issues. It got an ulcer, and then he had a luxating lens, which means the lens actually kind of moved to the front of his eye. And as a result of that, in order to stop the pain, and because the outcome of doing anything else wasn't actually ideal or 100%, and we might end up having to take that anyway, we determined that the eye, since it wasn't viable, it was less painful and putting him at ease a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier to just remove that right eye. So that eye has been removed. He's recovered from it. He does perfectly fine. So he's now one-eyed, but he loves adventures. He loves to go do things. He loves it when we go to events and he gets all kind of attention. He's perfect to the vet. He's just an overall outstanding boy, and he has such a great attitude, and his quality of life is fantastic.
If they want to adopt him, what steps need to be taken? Obviously, there's going to be a meet and greet to see if there's any kind of bonding that would help.
Yeah, we'll do that. We have you fill out an application, and the reason we do that is because we want to know if we just want to match up individuals with the dog the best we can so that everybody's happy and it all works out. And then we'll talk to him a lot. We'll give him all the details about Magoo, obviously do the meet and greet. We do a vet reference, and once everything is finalized and the adopter or potential adopter falls in love with him and they know that he's the one, then we send him to his new home.
Perfect. Let me ask you this, because I've always wondered, and I've had someone ask me, and I'm like, that's a very good question. You said a vet reference. What if they've never had an animal on their own? Say they had animals growing up, or it's been years since they've had an animal. What do you do in that case?
We're not totally opposed to that. We're willing to sit down and talk with them and talk to them just about the medical aspect of it. And if they're agreeable and they're willing to do everything, that's perfectly fine.
Let's talk about his temperament. You said he's very loving and outgoing. Say if someone has other dogs in the house, is that an okay thing? He does well with other animals.
Oh, he's
except for
great with
cats.
dogs. He's not as fond of cats. He thinks they're a little odd. Prefers them not to be in his home, but with other dogs, he does a great job. He loves them. Snuggles with them all the time, plays with them. Yeah, he's not a rowdy.
You say that and here comes noise.
I know. He's not a rowdy, rambunctious guy running around the yard playing, but he does enjoy, a little snuggle time and a little toy time, things like that.
Perfect. Now it looks like you've got lots of yard space for him. How does he do in the backyard? He does great in the yard, great in the house.
Oh yeah. He's outstanding. He's in terms of the yard, he knows his boundaries. I kind of keep an eye on him just to make sure he's not running into things, but that kind of comes with the blindness. He's crate trained and house trained. He maneuvers around the house perfectly fine, knows where everything's at, knows how to jump on the bed, curl up and snuggle with you. So he does amazing. Blind dogs, people worry, but they bounce back so easily and they have no issues and they just live life like anybody else would.
I can attest to that. My best friend Jenna, she has a dog Zeus that is blind. I think I told you about. And he's in a house with several other dogs and he makes his presence known. He's the most loving thing. And when I'm in the house, he knows I'm in the house because when he's out of his crate, he comes straight to me. He knows it's me. I don't even say anything. And I'm just like, oh, my boy loves me. They are very loving. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and they're so, remarkable the way they use their senses. We, as humans, I think, struggle a lot harder than animals do when they lose a specific sense.
Because we have huge egos. Animals do not have egos.
You're probably right.
Yeah, we can't get over ourselves sometimes. So I get it. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so he's just kind of like, okay, well, this is me. So here I go. This is my life.
He's so easygoing. You really can't ask for a more perfect dog.
So once again, how do they get in touch with you or the rescue about meeting with Magoo? I always want to say Mr. Magoo.
Well, that's his actual full name, but we call him Magoo or Goo or whatever comes to mind. We have a lot of nicknames, but they can visit our website at k95rescue.org. You leave the point out. And then they can just go on adoption and click adoptable animals. And if they scroll down to his picture, they can hit the adopt button and fill out the application.
Perfect. I want to say a big thank you to Allie and Mr. Magoo from K9.5 Rescue. For more information, you can go to our website, magic989.com, or our Facebook page, facebook.com/magic989 online, and get more information on how you can help Mr. Magoo find his forever home. And also want to say thank you to PetMed Mobile. Remember to check our website for the latest PetMed Mobile schedules. And remember, if you have a pet, have your pet spayed or neutered. And if you're considering a pet, consider adopting and don't shop. I'm Cherie Taylor for Magic 98.9 and Wet Nose Wednesday.